And his motto is, if I can do it, so can you. If you would please help me in welcoming Coach Cam. What's up, Concord? Come on, man. It's a celebration time, baby. I tell you what, I'm not going to be a boring speaker, I promise you. If anything, I will not be boring. Thank you. I want to thank you first, President Virgil, Ms. Alex, for inviting me, faculty, parents, family, friends, and our graduates. Thank you for this evening. I want to give you guys a round of applause right now. All right, so as was explained, there's a lot of accolades there. You got the marathons, some degrees, retired from the fire department, all that stuff. That sounds great. But that's not where I started. And that's the story I want to share with you guys tonight. Because if anything, I want you to walk away from here with a couple of pearls of wisdom and something you can take with you. And it's not just for the graduates. This is for every single person in this room. I'm going to take this thing off the mic. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not like your typical Baptist preacher. All right. Here's what I need you guys to pick up on. Your story is being written every single day you wake up. It's up to you what you want to do with it. That's a fact. So if you will just stay with me for a few minutes, I want to share just a small snippet of where I started. Because see, all those accolades is not where I started. I grew up in Twin Lakes. Some of you may know this. It's a little subdivision. Used to be Walls, now it's Horn Lake. Over there we had mostly country at the time, not a lot of places to go. So we ran wild in the woods. Education was not a big part of my life. Sometimes discipline was too much a part of my life, if you know what I mean. But along the way, I really wasn't laying a foundation for myself. Whenever I graduated high school, I had a strong D average. I managed a whopping high of a 16 on the ACT. And my friends that actually had straight A's were like, what are you going to do with yourself? You're just going to be a homeless person doing nothing, being a waste of life. Well, you know what? There was a lot of people that didn't believe in me. Ladies and gentlemen in the graduate group, I'm sure that at some point in your life, you've had somebody tell you what you can't do. Here's what I want you guys to know. You only will live down to lowered expectations when you start to believe it. So coming out of high school, I said, I want to do something more. So I went to college and I got an associate's degree. Then I joined the military and I traveled. And then I came home and I got another degree. And then I got on the fire department. And I started laying layers of foundation. And each time that I did this, I found myself needing more. What I realized was the journey in life was the true treasure. You see, graduates, tonight you guys are celebrating a moment. This is a moment in time. You should celebrate it, you should take it in. But understand, this is just one step. This is one moment. I want to share with you why it's so important that you're not only celebrating yourself, but you're understanding what the bigger picture is. And that's what I want to leave you with here today. So as I was growing myself, I wanted to push myself outside of my comfort zone. That's the only time you grow. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, if you realize that. When you're doing something you're familiar with and it's easy, you're probably not learning anything. Am I right? So I started pushing myself in areas that I didn't even think was possible. That's why I ran a marathon, and then another, and then another. And by the way, they're all hard. But it wasn't until I pushed myself to the point of doing the Ironman triathlon. If you're not familiar with that, it's a 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike ride, 26.2 mile run. I focused every day of my life for a year. All I could think about was crossing that finish line. I wanted to cross that finish line, probably like you graduates here today. You're probably just focused on the finish line. All along, what I wasn't paying attention to was not only was I getting stronger and better, but I was inspiring others. And you see, that's where the story's going to go with you. Right now, you've pushed hard and you've gotten to a point and you've accomplished something great. Along the way, you've become a different person, I promise. And I bet your family members and friends have witnessed it. Now you see, when I crossed that finish line, you would think that's the moment of joy. That's the moment that is so elating. Would you believe the only thought that ran through my mind when I crossed that finish line was, I really want some pizza. It's a true story. I really thought it was going to be something better. I couldn't explain it. We go home. I was happy, don't get me wrong. A year goes by. In the second year, my wife comes to me. Understand, when I tell you, this lady, and I love her, lady has no coordination, no athletic ability at all. Wonderful woman. Not the person you're going to pick on your team if you're playing sports. She says, I want to run an Ironman. Now, Coach Camp inside me says, oh, baby, no, let's do something different. But I knew there was no growth in that. So I said, all right, let's go. Let's take the journey. But she wanted to do it on her own. So she took out after this for a year. We go to the Ironman competition. She comes up 7 miles short of the finish line. Some of you may think that's a down moment. I was excited for her. But you want to know something? It was a story to life that I didn't know was being told. You see, a lot of times in our life, we'll set out for something, and we're going to try our best. We give everything we've got, and we come up a little short. Well, the question is that failure final? The answer is no. As long as you're willing to get back up and try again, failure is only temporary, and the lesson's not lost if you learn something along the way. So my wife decides to go back to the Ironman a year later. I helped her train, and we worked our tails off. Ladies and gentlemen, she went back. She didn't just finish the Ironman the next try. She beat my time by 9 minutes. Y'all feel me? That was when I started crying, everybody. And it wasn't because I was sad. It was because I understood. Everything you're doing has a bigger picture. Right now, you're inspiring somebody that you don't know that you're inspiring. And it may be a year, it may be 5 years, it may be 10. And somebody's going to look back and they're going to say, that person right there, what they did gave me the inspiration and the motivation and the belief that it was possible. And they will accomplish something even greater, and that should be your prize. Understand, there is a bigger picture right now tonight than just walking across the stage, I promise you. So, final pieces. Here's what I want to leave you with. Prove to yourself. Prove to yourself you can. As long as you are believing and you are willing to try, it is possible. Dare to dream big. Small dreams are great, but shoot for the stars. Because if you miss, you're still hitting mountaintops. Set goals. And understand the goal doesn't have to change, but sometimes the paths do. There might be multiple paths to get you to the goal that you're looking for. If you can't give your best to something, don't invest at all. It's not worth your time or your effort. Give your best every time you do something, because there's the truth. Everybody's watching someone, and you never know who's watching you. My fifth and final piece. You will always find the circle of life when you realize that you've chased your passion and you've tied that to your purpose. Within that, you will find a paycheck. Because when you are passionate about something, nothing can stop you. Absolutely nothing. Your actions matter. What you do today will follow you to tomorrow. You are capable of whatever you put your mind to, and I mean that from the soul. You're looking at a person that proved it. And I'm still trying to do that every single day. I'm going to leave you with a quote. It's actually one of my favorite quotes. Maya Angelou. You guys heard her? When I read this quote, it actually resonated with me because I thought about all the things that I've been a part of. And once I started the speaking company and had opportunities to go and speak to different organizations, different congregations, different graduations, this was what was true. People will often not remember what you say. People will often not remember what you do. But people will always remember how you made them feel. That will stay with you. So be good to people. Be good to yourself because you deserve it. That's why you should always be good to yourself. And I want to finish with you guys saying something that is necessary. This I wrote down just before I walked in. And I was like, I wish somebody would have done that in my graduation. I'm going to say I am, and I'm asking you guys to do something very uncomfortable. I want you to say enough. When I say I am, I want you to say enough. Then I'm going to say I will. And I want you guys to say press on.